Well, there's been another shooting, another killing involving guns. Let's go through this right away. This is what you have to know. I'm not going to set up any kind of prefatory statement on this. This is the simplest. Number one, there are people who commit murders with guns, and nobody knows why. There's about 355 million people in the United States. 355. And there is about 350 million guns. There's about a gun or so per person. The number of guns in circulation and the number of people and the crazy people that are here, people who might be transitioning, people who might be on SSRIs, people who might have people who are alcoholics, people who've had a hard day, lost their jobs. All of these people still result in virtually no shootings ever. Now let's think about this. Think about this. Theft, like you can't believe. Theft every 2 minutes. Domestic violence, through the roof. Burglaries, more. Remember what a burglary is. It's not necessarily residential. There are crimes that are going on constantly. But thank God, listen to me carefully, the number of shootings like this. Let's be careful now. We're going to talk about this. School shootings in particular are de minimis. That's number one. I think I've said that's number one for like the third time, so you keep track of this. Next point. There are countries other than ours that have guns. There are people who have guns. If you look at where there are more murders, the gun murder capital of the world, go through it, Venezuela, Honduras, Mexico. Stop. What's the difference? They don't kill because they're upset. They don't kill because of some disappointment. They don't kill because they want to be lauded in social media as the next killer. They kill because of drugs or territory or crime. That's the difference between us and them. Americans kill. Remember the Richard Pryor line? Why'd you kill all those people? Because they were home? That's it. That's the difference. Keep in mind this. Keep in mind, you can talk about anything you want about guns. Please have at it. Talk about high capacity weapons. Go ahead. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Do it. Talk about them. Talk all you want about them. Talk about guns and capacities and bump stocks and gun sales and permits and go. Please spend all your time doing that. But there's something about our form of gun violence that's like none other. Next, you will never ever hear any connection made either at the law level, products liability level, the tort level, the civil law level, asking the question, what were people taking in terms of psychotropic medication, SSRIs, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, antidepressants? What were they taking prior to this particular drug? Read the warning signs on drug labeling, on the instructions, on the literature that goes into your pills and whatever. Read this. Read what it is. And look at the connection between murders, suicide, and antidepressants. Think about this for a moment. Think about this. This is the most fascinating. A drug that is involved theoretically in stopping, in slowing down depression is responsible for murder-suicide, listed as a top side effect. Not a side effect, an effect. And it kills these people to have to put this. You don't want to have murder suicide as a side effect. So what do? They're forced. So if you see murder suicide, it must be bad. Because they're going to do everything in their power to suppress it, to say, well, there's not enough samples, we don't have enough data to indicate. No. If you see murder suicide, you know it's big. Okay? Now, here's the problem with that. Take notes of what I'm saying. When somebody is taking SSRIs and antipsychotics, in particular psychotropic medications, that means they are evincing, they are involved in an exhibition of, let's say, psychiatric problems in and of themselves. In and of themselves, they are involved in problems that warranted and required the medications in the first place. So that means the reason why somebody was taking antipsychotic medication or psychiatric medication or antidepressants was because they were suffering from and laboring under some form of, quote, mental illness. And if that is correct, that means, and this is important, that means that these folks, listen to me carefully, that means that these folks had something in the first place that they were laboring under. So can you separate their underlying mental illness with the medication that was used to treat it? Good luck with that one. But let me go back to what I said. If it could ever be shown by a thorough congressional investigation, by products liability litigation, you name it, that these products, these drugs, were responsible for and aided and abetted and were a part of these these actions in the first place, and you put into society something given to people who are, by virtue of their particular anomaly, this mental illness, something that made them violent or committing self-harm, and you knew this? Oh my God. But you will never hear it because of Big Pharma, because of the stranglehold they have. You will never, ever hear anybody, Dr. Fauci, Bobby Kennedy Jr., Jim Jordan, never. And maybe, you know what, for a good reason, because, as I said before, these don't happen that often. But even if there was a connection, it's not going to work. Now, I hope you're keeping track of this. Next point. I can fix this like this regarding schools. Number 1, mandatory locked doors. One ingress, one egress. One entrance, one exit. One door, main door, front. You go in and you come out. No side doors, no doors kept open, no leaving the door ajar for smoking. No. Always, 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 always locked. One door. Go in and out. Number 2, metal detectors. Everybody. Metal detectors. Number 3, armed guard. Not a school resource officer. Not officer friendly. Not the one that says, hey, officer. Hello, Marjorie. Hello, Morgan. No. I'll help you with your books. No. A person who was armed with a real serious sidearm. Maybe fatigue looking. Somebody with mirrored glass who doesn't communicate with people. He sits in the truck. He is there within a half a second. And nobody is going to show up with that. Period. End of discussion. There are retired military, retired police. There are parents who would chip in to buy. It costs nothing. Nothing. Compared to this? Finally, there's going to be all kinds of discussions about who was this killer. Who was this killer? Let's talk about that, okay? Number 1, who was this killer. First, and this is important, first, listen carefully. This is the most important. I can't say it enough. They're always going to have some form of statement, weirdness. They will have liked a song. They will have recited from the Bible, or Rush Limbaugh, or Donny Osmond, or Ozzy Osbourne. They might have been Scientologists or evangelical Baptists. They might have listened to radio or not listened to radio. They might have whatever. They might be transgendering. They might prefer pronouns of he and him. So what? What you're missing is this person killed people, and you're worried about, well, they did have pronouns. What does that have to do with anything? Seriously, what? Aha, what? What? Now, you might want to say, were they taking any kind of medication or something that caused them to show this incredible off-the-chain form of I don't know what the word is, this form of anger? Excuse me, this is murder. Innocent people with multiple... This is not... Well, you know that testosterone does make you aggressive. No! Nobody does this. This is the rarest of the rare. I told you. The number of people in this country, it's 350 million. It doesn't make any sense. People love to find reasons. They love to find reasons. 335 million people in this country, and you think you're going to find some causal reason as to why they did this? No, it's nuts. Now, I know this is a big deal. I know you got the Second Amendment folks. I know you've got the anti-gun folks. Here's the bottom line, and this is the most important. This is the denouement, so to speak. There's no answer to this. The only thing you could do is in prevention. Locked doors, metal detectors, armed guard. That's it. Every school, urban, rural, no matter where it is, every school in the nation, period. That's it. It's a tragedy. Don't extrapolate this. Don't take it too far. Don't go nuts. Do yourself a favor and think about this. Now, subscribe to the channel. It's important that you do that. Hit that little bell, that little, that notification thing. Like the channel, of course, and comment. I want your comments, your brilliant comments. Comment below as you see fit.